introduction of Dr. Pranav Kumar Prabhakar. He is a renowned speaker and researcher from Palo University, Baroda. We are going to have insightful information on mastering the research process, and definitely it is going to benefit all the young researchers of our college. And in all future endeavor, this research input is going to be quite beneficial for all the project work. I believe because there are some project students over here, right? So they are also going to witness these electrifying presentations. So over to you, doctor. Please proceed.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the introduction. So, good evening, everyone. Uh, I am Dr. Pranav Kumar Prabhakar, and I am working as a deputy director and looking for the research and development cell at Parul University, Gujarat, India. So, what we are going to talk today? Our session will be covering these things. These are the agenda will be there. So, we will see how to conduct a good literature search. What are the different components should be there. Then we will talk about the how to identify research gaps and how to frame a hypothesis for your research work. And then we will talk about the objective components and how to finalize objective. What components should be there and what not should be there. And then lastly, we will talk about the what can be the good title, good topic uh, for your research work or your paper. So let me start with the research. What exactly research is? Literal meaning of research is whenever we are finding answer for any kind of questions through a scientific manner, through the planned way. So if you are scientifically searching answer to any question, it's called as research. So the literal meaning of research or the literal definition of research can be research is a scientific process of investigation and analyzing the information for the generation of knowledge, where we validate the existing knowledge through literature search, literature, you can call it the literature review, then solving the specific problems. This research normally consists of different segments. You can call it different stages. So it starts with the formulation of questions, where we start questions, whatever questions arise in our mind. So we try to find the existing literatures. So for that one, we normally do the literature search. Then we come to the hypothesis, aim and objective. Then we decide methodology, and on the basis of methodology, we collect data through experiment or through different other processes. Those data are going to be analyzed in a scientific manner. uh, After analysis, we are going to interpret those results and ultimately come to a conclusion. This is the real story or real journey of a research. It starts with the question and ends with the conclusion. And if you'll go one step further, the conclusion, whatever our finding we are getting it from the research, it should get published. So the publication will be the ultimate goal, and that will be the end point. So research can be qualitative or quantitative. So when you are going to divide research, it can be of two types broadly, either qualitative, quantitative, or if you go in deeper, we can have four different types of research. Research can be there. It can be basic research, where normally we are going to solve the basic questions, yeah, fundamental questions, where we especially focusing on the understanding of the fundamental principle of the nature or the different things, like how different cells works, yeah, how things formulates. So simple questions. Then second type, we can call it applied research, where normally our focus is based on the application, or you can call it the practical based questions, practical based problems, like uh, finding a drug discovery for certain disease, yeah, finding a mechanism of certain processes. So there it is application based, so that is called applied research. uh, then when we are talking about the qualitative and quantitative research, so qualitative research, as its name suggests, it is qualitative in the nature. So there we don't have non, it is mainly based on the non numerical value, non numerical data. So it is mainly based on the non-numerical data such as interviews, observation, or the test analysis. So mainly the qualitative data are interpretative or explanatory in nature. The second portion is quantitative data research. So their quantity will be there, values will be there, numerical values will be there. So normally in this case, we are going to test our hypothesis, measure variables. Variables can be dependent and non-independent variables both, and then determine the pattern or relationship, and ultimately we come to a conclusion. In this case, in case of quantitative research, it is mainly based on the statistical or mathematical modeling system. So it is analyzed by a statistical tool or mathematical tools. So overall, we are having four different types of research, basic research classification. Now, why we conduct research? There are n number of regions can be there. So if you see here, I have listed roughly for 12 different types of regions. Why we conduct research? It might be applicable for some of the person. Some regions might be applicable for some other person. If you'll see the research, so first advancing knowledge and understanding, where normally it research helps us to expand our understanding or knowledge of the world around us. Then second one is solving problems and addressing issue, where we try to resolve any kind of problem or challenges we are facing, either it will be through in its science, technology, medicine, social science, any region, any domain. Then third one is testing hypothesis and theories. Whatever hypothesis we formulate during after the literature search, those hypotheses are going to be tested. So either hypothesis will be accepted or it will be rejected, and then we come to a conclusion. Then it will be supporting it is research normally supports the evidence based decision making system, especially for policy makers or the businesses or some organizations. They normally trust the research, which is research finding, only when they will have a proper evidence or proper data supporting systems will be there. So their research normally helps us. It promotes innovation and creativity. It contributes to the academic discourse. It also improves the human health, like how it is going to medical and health research in especially in particular plays a very significant role in advancing the healthcare practices, developing new treatment or new treatment strategy, you can call it, finding cures of diseases. Research in the field of directly impact the human health and well-being. Then we are having preserving cultural heritages. Some domains like you can call it history, anthropology, archaeology, paleontology, they normally works on the preservation of the cultural heritages through different ways. Then it also research also helps us in enhancing education and learning system. It helps in the informed technology development processes like pedagogical tools, learning strategies, curriculum design, different methodologies. Then it helps in the validation of existing knowledge and predicting the preparing of the for the future. So these are the different reasons why we do research. Whenever we do research, these research should get published. If our research is not going to be published, it's of no use. Its value will be zero. So whenever we do research, whatever we data we generate, either it will be through experiment or numerical, qualitative or quantitative, it should get published. So again, we are having number of regions why we required our research should be published. Again, some regions will be applicable for us, some regions may be applicable for other our friends. uh, so like contribution to the knowledge, publication helps in the knowledge contribution in the scientific community. It helps in the validation and it increases the transparency. Peer review systems. Research paper normally undergo a rigorous peer review processes before publication, and this normally ensures the study meets the academic standard or scientific standard. Academic requirements, sometimes for doctorate or postgraduate degree, we require the minimum number of publications should have to be there. There, it helps in the academic requirement fulfillment. Whatever we achieve, whatever we generate data, so those things need to be communicated. So our research paper serves as a means of communication or of our achievements, of our validation of the experiments. Publication also supports the evidence-based decisions. It builds in academic reputation, especially nowadays. Many you can see the ranking accrediting agencies are there, which normally requires high impact factor journals. So there, for the building reputation, research publication helps. Documentation of the results. Sometimes our research also leads to IPR generations, like in forms of patents, copyright, different other forms. Then dissemination of the best practices, achieving the knowledge and engaging in the scientific dialogue. So these are the different reasons why our research should get published. Now for these publications, yeah, for the research, whatever we have seen, two important things: why we conduct research and why it should be get published. So for publication we need experiment to be conducted, data should be generated, and for experiment or data we require certain title, certain topics, yeah, certain question in our mind, yeah, certain research gap has to be found. So for that one normally we do literature search. So how to conduct a literature search? So there are two different terms we are going to see. One is literature search and second we call literature review. There are two basic difference between literature search and literature review. Literature search is a process for the identification, retrieving and analyzing the published research which is already available into the scientific community or the different databases. So a process for the identification, finding and achieving those knowledges, those informations which is already available is called as literature search. This literature search normally helps researchers to understand the current status of the knowledge, and so which is available and which is not available, means where gaps are there. So it helps in the avoiding avoidance of the duplication. So same work should not be duplicated, repeated, and identification of the gap. In general, literature search is a process of seeking out and identifying the existing literature related to the topic or question of interest. In contrast, literature review, which is the end product of the literature search. So when whatever literatures we have, literature search we have done, once we are going to organize those information achieved and come to a conclusion, that is called as literature review. So overall, if you see, literature search is the act of collecting relevant search researches which is available, and literature review is the process of evaluating and interpreting the collected research. So one is the process and second one is the end product of that one. So both are related to each other. When we are going to talk about literature search, it requires a sequential steps. So what are the different steps for the literature search? It starts with the research question. So define a research question. So whenever we need a literature search, we require a certain research question in our mind. So clearly state the topic of questions you want to search. Then brainstorm those keywords, because normally we search literatures based on the keywords, and that will give us good result. We will talk about some more things about what is the significance of the keywords. Create a search strategy, and then select a database. Either you can go for one database, you can go multiple databases. As many as database you will use, evaluate, your literature search will be that much good. So your research gap will be that much well defined. If you are not going to do proper literature search, topic finalization will be that much, repetition might be there, redundancy can be there. So select database or databases, conduct the literature search, evaluate and refine your topic. What are the different sources of literatures? So literature sources can be divided into three broad classes: primary, secondary and tertiary literatures. Any literature or any published content which has the experimentally generated data, which have the original information, they are called as primary literature, like original research article, case study, case series, short communication or the brief communication, late. These are called as primary literature. Secondary literatures normally includes those articles where we don't involve the original research content, but this is based on the already available information. So secondary literatures where we analyze, evaluate primary literatures and come to write a paper, write an article, that called secondary literatures, where we are having review, mini review, systematic review, editorials, leadership, perspective, opinion, commentary. These are called as secondary literatures. And the tertiary literatures normally combination of primary, secondary, both, like encyclopedia or different databases. These are called as tertiary literatures. So whenever we do literature searches, we analyze all the three different types of literatures. Either it will be primary or secondary or tertiary. So there are certain tips for conducting a good literature search. So whenever we do literature search, it should be systematic, thoroughly and rigorous. Thoroughly means we should have to do as much as database can be analyzed, can be evaluated, can be data can be collected. And rigorous means it should be very effortless, all the effort have to put. Whenever we are going to do literature search, it should be keyword based instead of full sentences, big paragraph. Don't do any kind of searches where you are going to use big paragraph, big sentences for the searching. So use keyword based search, that will give you better information, proper information. Then whenever you are going to search certain keywords, use quotation marks. So that will give you the exact match of your keywords. If you are not going to use quotation marks in your search, it will you will not get the proper exact match information. And if you want more specific information for a specific year, a specific duration, use add key year or year duration in your search tab, so that you will get the proper information for that particular year only. Normally, which search engine everyone is using, if you'll ask this question, almost 100% people will tell that they are going to use Google. Google can be a synonymous, or it is a synonymous of the search. But it's almost true, because more than 90 to 95% people uses Google as a search tool. But Google is not the only search tool. That is a common search engine, search tools, where we do it. When we are talking about the different search tools, scientific search, so these are the different tools or different search engine where we can collect, we can get the different searches scientifically. Yeah, scientific information, yeah, scientific literatures. So these are the different free tools which is available where we can do different kind of literature search in the scientific manner, or only scientific information will be achieved. Along with that one, there are certain number of other tools are there which is paid tools. So these are the different tools, different search engines, yeah, different databases you can call it, where you can also do the literature search, but some of them are paid tools where you have to pay or you have to subscribe it. So these are again the different search engine. So we have lot of different databases where we can collect the information, where we can do the literature search. Now, other than that one, because in these days we are going to use different kind of tools for our search. So we are having different AI based tools also for our literature search. If you will see these literature search, I have written here 5 different tools. There are number of tools are there. I have shared many times on my LinkedIn post also. I have some number of videos on my YouTube channel also. So 5 different tools I am written here. One is Connected Papers, Research Rabbit, Semantic Scholar. These are the free tools where you don't have to pay anything. And 2 tools I have used there, that is a paid tools. Other than that one, number of other tools are also there. So it is not restricted to only these 5 tools. But every tools have some merits and demerits. Like first, I'm talking about the Connected Papers. It normally it's a merit is it visualizes the connected papers, research papers, helping discover related quick work very quickly. Uh, but it is having a disadvantage that it is only limited to the scientific semantic scholar database. So it will give you only information from the semantic scholar database. It will not give you any other data. It is not going to use any other database. Similarly, Research Rabbit, again it is a free tools, but only disadvantage of this one is it is requiring logging setup. You have to log in into the website, and again it is a related papers. It will be segregate all the informations which you want for a particular topics. You don't have to manually segregate, but just logged in on that one. So Research Rabbit, then India knowledge sorry Indian knowledge map is there, then paper Litmap is there. Number of tools are there. Then we are having a paid tool, that is iris.ai, that is AI driven tool for reading, digesting and mapping out relevant literatures, but that is subscription based model. Whenever we are going to use any paid tools, one disadvantage is it you can use its free information also, but in case of free you don't have all the information, all the resources available. So like iris, paid subscription is required for full features, but paid free services does not have all the features available. Other than those 5 different tools, these are the number of other tools also where we can do the literature search, like Elicit, Research Rabbit, Connected Papers, Open Knowledge Map, Semantic, Iris, Site, Yellow. So number of tools we are having for literature search, AI based tools. These are the homepage of different literature search tools like Elicit, where you, if you logged in there, you can save your literatures, and whenever you are logging it, you can retrieve your previous searches. Then we are having connected papers. You can search paper here based on the keywords, paper title, DOI, or any other identifier. Again, you can log in here, and it can have uh, pricing also. So pricing will have again more advantages on that one. Then we are having open knowledge map. Normally this tool uses the two different databases, PubMed and Base. PubMed especially for life sciences, and for the rest of the other disciplines they are using the Base database. Here you don't require compulsorily logging. It is completely free. Without logging you can use it. This is researchrabbit.com, but here you need to require the logging. Without logging you cannot search it. Now, another tool is Google and Google Scholar. As I have told you, Google and Google Scholar are the commonly used tools. But whenever you do the literature search on the Google, it gives you, it is a common search tool, search platform. So it gives searches information from everywhere, either it is from newspaper, news cutting, Facebook, LinkedIn, anywhere. But because you want scientific literature search, so in that case, you should go to Google Scholar. Google Scholar has a advantage that once you are logging with your Gmail ID account ID, you can have your own profile and you can have your own library. And this library normally based on the Google databases. So whenever you are going anywhere, if you will logged in there, your library, you can retrieve this library. Once you are saving in this library, you can retrieve, you can use this library anywhere just by logging to the tool. There are few keyword specific information about the Google Scholar or Google search tools. These searches are not case sensitive. So either you are writing anything in the capital or the small, it does not have any significance. It's not case sensitive. Whenever you are going to use any search keywords which contains two or more than two different words, all the words are automatically going to be connected or combined by using and boolean. Then it is normally based on search, doing search based on the keyword searches. uh, so other than that one, there are some other you can call it the tips by which Google Scholar searches or Google searches can be very effective. So first one is use the quotation mark for search. If you want to exact phrase, like if I want to search best restaurant in the New York City, it will give me because I have used the quotation from both the side, it will only search, only give the main information from the best restaurant in the New York City. If I would not have used this quotation, so then it would have searched best restaurant separately, New York separately, New York City separately. So whenever you will get whatever, wherever it will get information about the restaurant or the New York City, it will give me all everything. But because I have used quotation marks, so it will search complete phrase as one component, one piece. So use quotation mark whenever you are going to search either into the any search tools, or even if you are using any AI tools. Make a habit of using this quotation marks. Second one is if you don't want any content to be in your search, or if you want to avoid any specific terms, anything from your search information, search result, use the minus sign. Like in this case, I want to search healthy recipes, but I don't want those information from the Pinterest. So I have written minus Pinterest. In this case, it will give me in all the information, but not from the Pinterest. Then whenever you are going to search, use the cite operator if you want any information to be searched from a specific site. Like if I want the Albert Einstein information from the wikipedia.org only, so I will use this operator, cite colon wikipedia.org, because this is the website from where we want to search it. And what you want to search it? Albert Einstein. So if you will use this operator along with this one, it will give you only information from this particular website. Then use the file type operator. Sometimes I need only PDF file, sometimes we require only PPT file, sometimes we require only doc file. So that time you can use this file type operator. Like I'm going to search Python tutorials, but I want only PDF file. So I will use this operator, file type colon PDF. So it will give me search only this information, but where it will be available in the form of PDF. So I will get only PDF information. Then there are some other keywords, some other information tools, tips for the better Google searches. But the thing is, which we need to remember is, whenever you do any kind of searches, be specific. whatever you want. You should know your questions, should know your keywords. So use those keywords during your search. Use as much as quotation marks you can use wherever it is necessary. You should use it, and use as many as keywords, so it will improve your search results, literature searches. Once we have done the literature, proper literature search, then comes second topic, that is called as research gaps. What is exactly research gap is? Research gap normally it is refers to the unexplored things which has not explored, which has not been discovered. So either it is unexplored or underexplored area of existing literature where study or analysis or research requires. So it represents the unanswered question, unanswered answered issue or contradictions in current research. Identifying a research gap is a very crucial, very significant, important in research, because it helps researcher to find exact novel things to ensure their work will be relevant and impactful. Because if you are doing certain kind of research and it is not having any kind of impact on the society, on the human, or on the environment, it's of no use, it's of very less significant, no one is going to read it. So there are, how to do literature, sir? There are number of ways, number of steps are there by which we can do literature, this research gap. So these are the steps. Like first I have to conduct a thoroughly literature search, literature review. For that one I can use the different databases like PubMed, Scopus, Web of Science, Google Scholar. Then focus on the recent publication, especially from the last 5 to 10 years. Look for the systematic review or meta-analysis that will increase your content informations, and it will decrease your effort. Then analyze the recent studies, identify contradiction and inconsistencies, explore the emerging trends. For the emerging trends you can go to the Google Trends. Also Google have a specific site that is called a Google Trends. So that gives you normally trending topics, trending area in different fields, either it will be in the science, agriculture, politics, movie, number of different ways. So you can use those Google Trends for this exploring emerging trends. Consider practical problems or real world challenges. Use the research gap identification tools, like different kind of online tools we are having. Bibliosiny is the one tool, and viewer is another tool. Connected paper or Litmap, you can use it for this research gap identification. And then lastly, formulate the questions based on the research gap. So, these research gap can be of different types, roughly 8 different type of research gaps we are having. So if we'll say, it can be theoretical gap, or it can be empirical gap. If we are having the, this occurs when existing theory fails to explain certain phenomena, so that is called a theoretical gap. Empirical gap is the gap exists when there is a insufficient empirical information. Methodological gap is where there is a gap between the current research methods, which the methods are insufficient to answer certain questions. So process gap is there. Then we are having a population gap, when one kind of study or available literature supports only one restricted area or geographical regions. So it the only one limited demographic area is going to be explained in a, there we are going to call population gaps. For this one, these are the different how to identify it, and one of the example for each things I have written here. I will share this slide with you, and you can take it from the Bashant sir. So these are the four, and next we are having conceptual or geographical gaps. Then we are having conceptual gaps. Then we are having evidence-based gap, and then we are having practical or application gap. Again, for all the other fours, we are having example, and we are having how to identify these gaps. So whatever we do literature gap, whenever we are going to find comes to a conclusion that this is my research gap or this is a research gap, it should fall in one of the area, one of the research gaps. So either of research gap or gap should follow. These research gap should be research question or research gap should be novel. So it means it has not been studied before, or approaches a topic from a unique angle. It should be feasible, executable. It can be studied with available resources and methodologies. Available resources means time, money, efforts, everything, instrumentation, and number of other things also. So it should be feasible and executable. It should be impactful. It should address a real world problem or contribute significantly to the field. Either it should help mankind, resources, efforts, or it should be better for our environment. It should follow, help any kind of SDG goals. So it should follow the finer criteria. whenever we are going to have a tip, it should follow our final criteria. It should be feasible, it should be interesting, it should be novel, it should be ethical, or it should be relevant. So if our research gap is going to follow this final criteria, we will have a good research gap we have identified. Once we have found the research gap, then comes to the next section, that is called hypothesis. Hypothesis, normally it is a testable statement which we predict the relationship between the two or more than two variables. So whatever variable we are having, so there we are normally going to have a statement, and that statement should be testable. It can be tested. It normally, hypothesis provides the direction of a scientific inquiry. It helps in the validation of the scientific finding. If we will not have the good hypothesis, uh, we will not reach to the desired goal. We will not reach to the desired point after during your experiment. So the key features for the hypothesis will be: it should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be testable, it should be based on the existing knowledge. So one of the example of research hypothesis is regular exercise reduces the stress level in adults. The importance of these research hypotheses are, why these are important, because it guides the researcher to design and methodology to be defined. It provides a very clear focus data collection and analysis way. It also helps in the testing the theories and advancing scientific information knowledge, and it assists in driving conclusion based on the empirical evidences. There are four different types of hypothesis can be there. Number of other types of hypothesis are also there, but four important type of research hypothesis we are having. First one is, or most important, is null hypothesis, which is normally denoted by H0, and it means, null hypothesis means there is no significant effect or relationship has been exist. One of the example of null hypothesis is there is no significant relationship between the screen time and the sleep quality. Second, research gap, it can be alternative hypothesis, which is denoted by H1, and this which suggests a significant research effect will be there, significant correlationship will be there, like increased screen time reduces the sleep quality. Third, we are having that is called directional, which predicts a specific direction to the relationship between the variables and the process. So example is higher caffeine intake leads to the lower sleep duration. And the last one is non-directional, which suggests relationship but does not give you a proper direction. Either it will be good or bad. Like caffeine intake affects sleep duration, but affects means it is increasing or it is decreasing. It is not, no direction has been found in this one. So in this is called a non-directional. So we are having four different type of research hypothesis. Now, how to formulate these research hypotheses? So for that one, we need to identify the research problem, means what exactly you are going to investigate, what is your work, what exactly you are going to do it. Then review existing literatures. So I have told you it should be proper, uh, complete literature search has to be done, which previous research says. Then we need to determine the variables. So variables can be either independent or it can be dependent. So independent variables which gives you cause, and independent variable which is normally the effect. It should be testable, make it testable through a different kind of processes, either experiment or the data analysis, and ultimately last write in a clear and concise manner. So one of the example of the research question is, does social media usage affects the academic performance? The better hypothesis for this research question will be, excessive social media usage negatively impact the academic performance. So that is our hypothesis for this research question. So similarly, we can define our research hypothesis in a better way, which will give answer for all the five different criteria. Now, how we are going to do the test for this hypothesis? So hypothesis can be tested in four different ways, either through experimental design, uh, then data collection, data statistical tool, statistical analysis, and ultimately conclusion. So based on the conclusion, we are normally either accept or reject the hypothesis. If hypothesis is accepted or supported, it gives a new kind of theory. It leads to a new theory. But once your hypothesis will be rejected, it means we have to formulate a new hypothesis. So hypothesis need to be modified or redefine the hypothesis once again, and it starts again. So in case of hypothesis, conclusion is, research hypothesis provides a specific direction and focus for scientific investigation. It should be clear, specific, testable, and based on the prior information available. Four different type of hypotheses we have seen: null, alternative, directional, non-directional. And these hypotheses can be tested based on the different criteria, either doing designing experiment, collecting data, or analyzing results. Then come to the third point, that is called a research objective. So objective is normal. It should be, what is objective? It is a well-defined objective, provides very clarity, structure, and direction to the your study. Research objective describes the specific goal of this study. What exactly researcher wants to aim to achieve after the result, after the experiment. So this objective provides a clear roadmap to for the data collection and analysis. Why research objective important? Because it gives proper direction, so that you will have choosing the best, you will choose the best methodology, and then you will define the scope and limitation of the study, and ultimately future direction can be given. Research objective can be of two types. It can be general objective. General objective means it is a broad goal of your research, complete one goal. This general objective can be broken into a small fragments, that is called as specific objective. Like one of the example is to study the impact of social media on a student's academic performance. This is my general objective. This general objective can be divided into three different fragments. First, to examine the time a student spent on the social media. That is one small objective. Second small objective is to analyze the correlation between the social media usage and their marks achieved, or GPA achieved. And then identify the common distraction caused by social media. So to achieve the general objective, we have divided into three different small objective, and once by achieving those small objective, we can achieve our general objective. So for the effective objective define when once we are going to write objective, we are going to define the objective. It starts with the research questions. We can use the different specific action verbs in the objective, like its words. Some of the words can be used, like analyze, examine, identify, assess, determine. These are some of the active words which can be used. And it should ensure the smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound, because any researcher does not have infinite time to work on this one. So we have an example to study marketing trends. In this case, if you see this line, this objective, it is a vague what you want to object. So this vague objective can be redefined. Yeah, it will be written in a better way, that to analyze the impact of digital marketing strategy on consumer behavior, buying behavior in the last 5 years. So here we are having a specific, measurable, what we are going to measure, what we are going to achieve. It should be relevant to the field market, and it is a time bound. So it follow this smart formula for the objective defining. So we should go for this tool to identify or to write our objective. Then there are some common mistakes which what we do normally during the objective writing. It should not be being too broad or vague, uh, not aligning the research question with the research questions, using subjective or unmeasurable terms, and writing objective that is too ambitious for the study. So don't write don't be too ambitious, because you don't have too much time, or you are having limited resources. Either limited resources means your time duration, money, instruments, number of limitations can be there. And the last portion of our talk is how to finalize the topic of your work, or, or for the research papers. So what makes a good research topic is uh, so so our research topics should be novel. It should be original, because that we once we will do the proper literature search, we will come to a novel original research title. uh, Novel means it should be very specific, outcomes should have to be there. It should be specific to your subject area, and either you can come with a new methodology. So that means it is a novel. Then your research topic, yeah, research work should be executable and achievable. So be promise or write objective only in such a manner so that you can achieve it during your time span. So that executable and achievable based on the skill of your researcher or the supervisor, as well as based on the available resources. Resources again includes everything: time, instrumentation, and money. and your research topic should fit into the context of the existing research. There, make sure that nobody else has already done it, because that once again we will come with the proper literature search only. Learn from the others methods, others what they have wrong, they have done it, so from their others mistake also we can learn it, and why your research matters for this scientific community or the mankind or the any kind of scientific world. So that need to be done, and it should be usable for society or policy makers. But somewhere your research should fit in these four content. Whenever we are going to find a research, write a research title, there are certain do's or certain don'ts. Don't do keep your title very brief and clear. It should roughly contains 10 to 12 words only. You can use active words in the title. Use it as much as keywords, because the whenever first thing your title comes to in front of any reader, that is a keywords, and then objective, sorry, abstract. So use as much as keywords you can use it, specific words you can use it, so that your search will have a better visibility, your paper will have, or research will have a good visibility in the scientific world. Don't write lengthy titles. Don't use unnecessary details into the titles. Require only those things which is necessary. I will give you some of the examples also. You can use less abbreviations, or if possible don't write any abbreviation in the titles, uh, till it is very common abbreviation. And then don't use complex phrases in the titles. This is the title is the first things that journal editor and reviewers see when they look at your paper. Whenever we do literature search, that time the, even if I am doing the literature search, the title comes in first in front of me. Or whenever you are submitting your article, the author, editors, or the editorial board members normally see your titles only. So the title should be very catchy. uh, like I have written here four questions. If you see, the first question is, does it predict content? Is it catchy? Is it concise? Or are the keywords included? So the same title have written here in three different words, three different wording has been done. The title, first title is quantitative effect of yoga on cardiovascular stress management in 50% of essential hypertension. If you see, this is too lengthy. So first question is, does it predict content? So by reading this title, I can understand what paper will have. Yeah, what paper contains. So that is, it content predict the content of the paper. Is it catchy? No, because it is very lengthy. It is concise. No. Are the keywords included? Yes, it is having all the keywords: quantitative effects, yoga, cardiovascular stress, essential hypertension, 50%. So all the keywords have been included. So I have not received yes for all the four questions. Then second title for the same title is same work is yoga guru in hypertension. So again we are having certain notes. Third title is paradigm shift in the management of hypertension, quantitative effect of yoga. Quantitative effect means we will have certain numerical value. It is going to, so here it is all the four, yes we have got it. So if I have to choose from any topic from these three, so I will choose the third one, because that is catch, it predicts the content of my paper, it is catchy also, it is very concise also, not too lengthy, not too small, and it includes the certain specific keywords which I want my in my title. Then some other tips are, it should be identify the main issue of the paper, it should be concise, it should accurate, unambiguous, it should not confuse the authors. Yeah, whatever you are mentioning in the title, same thing should be reflecting in the word, in the text of your paper. It should not be doing the false promise to the, it should be a specific, it should be complete. So like previous title was action of antibiotics on bacteria, same title has been revised in a way like inhibition of growth of mycobacterium tuberculosis by streptomycin. So if you'll say, this is the concise, catchy, and contains keywords also. So if for this, out of these two titles, this title is a good title, revised title is a good title. Second one is preliminary observation of the effect of zinc element on the anti-corrosion of zinc plating layers. That has been revised in this manner: the effect of zinc on anti-corrosion of zinc plating layers. Third title is the fabrication of carbon CDS coaxial nanofibers displaying the optical and electrical properties via electrospinning carbons. So that has been revised in this manner. So title you can revise as per your requirement, so that you will get a proper eye catchy, so that people will Forcefully means by reading title, people should readers should come to your paper, that they should be willing to read your paper. So that should be the that type of our title should be there. In the last, the conclusion will be conducting quality research requires systematic approach from identifying relevant literatures to finalizing the well-structured research papers or title. Whenever we do literature, strong literature search, it lays the groundwork for understanding the existing information available into the scientific community and where we can find the research gaps, which ultimately ensures the novelty and significance of our work. By framing a clear hypothesis and defining research objective, it provides me proper direction of my research and a structure of the study. When we are going to craft a make a proper impactful title, it enhances the visibility of my works, because the first thing the title comes in front of the readers. And writing a comprehensive review and review article contribute to the academic discourse of synthesizing insight and guiding future research. And last, by mastering these essential research skills, scholars can enhance its credibility, relevance, and impact of their work, ultimately driving advancement in their field. So this is all about me from me. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Now, if you have any question.